good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope all is well. It is a great day to be amongst the land of the living, everyone. And if you can hear me say, Father, I thank you. You hear me? Somebody didn't make it last night. Welcome, I'm Dr. Eve. Here on this channel, we talk about all things sustainable living and building a strong home economy as your mini homestead retreat space. Y'all, I have been having the best time designing this space and really building stronger community by opening my garden and allowing people in. Um, being a drop-in space when you just need a little bit of healing, right? I have been focusing a lot on growing and art therapy and building JADCs, because I'm also an investor. I'm also into real estate. So I'm also into force appreciating your property, guys. We can do it. Force appreciate that property so that you can have a stronger family, build stronger families together versus, every $1,500 here for rent, $1,500 there for rent. And, by the time you spend that kind of money, everybody pay rent. Come on, y'all. What could y'all have done with that money, right? Let's be free. Let's be free. Hey, Athar, what's happening? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. What's up? Listen, some days are really better than others. It's been a struggle the last couple of days. I've been on the struggle bus because I'm doing some major work around here, and it's hard work. It's a heavy lift, and it makes you tired, right? It exhausts you, right? But this morning, when I gotta do what nature's supposed to do, I really got a hard time, right? And let me just share with you what's happening. The squash plant. Everybody's steering clear of the squash plant. Not everybody. Many of us, though, don't want to deal with that squash plant because why? Because the vine borer is going to come along and do what it do, leave its sassafras, its little wormies everywhere, and they are going to eat up everything. If they don't do it, the butterflies, somebody gonna come in and mess with the pollination, and the girls aren't gonna get pollinated, right? They're not gonna get pollinated, which means you're gonna have dead end fruit, and they're not gonna make it. So I've been having to self pollinate. I've never done it before. I'm being very successful with it. But baby, it's hard work getting down there. Every time you see 4 or 5 fruit open and you got to find a male to go, you got to go find the male. Here's the problem. Here's what's happening in my garden. The male fruit opens either before or after the female fruit. And if you don't catch them in a timely manner, or the bees aren't around, or the wasp aren't around, or something that pollinates isn't around to transfer that pollen from one male flower to the female flower, then the female doesn't get pollinated, which ends up in unpollinated fruit. So I've been having to hand pollinate in order to get my squash to produce. It's working, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It's quite exhausting, let me tell you. And guess what I did last night? Ooh, for the first time in a year, because my girls are a year old now. For the first time, I was so busy. Uh-oh, something trying to get something. Take some blood. Something was going for blood. Let me put my dress down. because they always go for the back of the knees, right? The back of the legs, right? They gonna go for something that you're not paying attention. But I don't even see how, because I am rubbed down with the sauce. Let me get my liquid. They want to play games with me. Let me show you what they not gonna do. See, because I keep my liquid for them. I keep my stuff. You understand? I make my own. I make my own salves, my own liquids, my own tinctures, whatever I need to do to keep the bugs off of me. And this has been working, y'all. This one's a little solidified, so I'm having to pour it in my hand. But whatever you do, this, get the back of them legs. Make sure that you don't leave no room and that you can enjoy the outdoors, right? Because it has gotten so bad that you can't enjoy the outdoors. And I'm going to enjoy my outdoors, and I'm not going to get bit up, so I'm going to protect myself. And I have my lemongrass. Y'all know me. I've got that good stuff that's not only a safe pesticide, but it is a marvelous benefit to my skin, because it just treats my skin so wonderful, right? Yes. Top of the morning. Hey, Eric. What's happening? We were talking about some days are better than others. I've had to pollinate some fruit this morning, and it was hard. I don't like doing it, what nature should naturally do, right? But you have to do it sometimes. We are in a season where we don't know what's happening with the bees, right? We don't know what's happening with the bees. And I know that we lost a lot of bees. Like, I don't know what happened, but I would go over on my blackberry bush and they were stuck inside the net. I don't know why, because literally they don't usually go under the netting. And so they were all in the netting, and I believe that they might have died from their inability. They might have been traumatized, couldn't get out, right? Once they got in there, they couldn't get out, because it's bird netting to keep the birds from the berries. So the bees didn't have no business over there. They didn't have no business over there, because them blackberries did not need pollinating. You understand what I'm saying? They was in the wrong place. And I lost a lot, but I think that they were not the regular bees. They were those carpenter bees, those big old carpenter bees that like to eat your wood. Because I have had a colony of them over here in building in the wood. They were first building in my deck. Well, I painted that to keep them, from that, because they don't like shiny things. So they will build inside of your acrylic paint, right? So I did that to keep them get away from the wood, baby. I just had $10,000 fence put up. We not eating the fence. You understand? What we not gonna do is eat the fence. So yeah, so we did lose some bees this year, but I noticed that we got a lot of baby bees. So there is a nest somewhere. There is a something somewhere, because I've seen the baby bees. I see them hanging out, and the reason why I know they're here, and this is how I examine, um, this is how I can tell what's here, because I keep herbs around me. The herb, these, you see these flowers? They coming for these flowers. You see, they're gonna come for this pollen. They're gonna come for the nectar in these things, and when they do, I see them. So I'm like, okay, we have bees. They're here. They're just babies, but I don't know where they on the flowers. I look at the flowers. They be on the flowers, so they are around, but they're not actively working on that big old squash bed over there. It's a big one, y'all. And I mean, it's big, and I can't, that it has so many flowers on, like when I say fruit, when I say so many fruit growing on it, that I have to, if I'm going to get fruit, I got to literally get in there in a timely manner in order to pollinate the fruit, because I don't know if it's been pollinated, because I see so many that grow out, so many of the female blossoms that grow out, and then they die because they weren't pollinated. So to be sure that the fruit has been pollinated, I'm going in and hand pollinating so I don't keep losing the fruit, because eventually, I don't know when, but eventually the squash plant gets attacked. We're praying that the vine borer stays away, but we want to be practical, because I have grown before, and big beautiful plants one day were up and then the next day were down because they will take them out in a day. Like, and what else did I notice? What else did I notice in the plant when I was this was very interesting. Like, I'm not seeing the sassafras on the branches. Where I am seeing the sassafras is when I open the male bloom, whether when it has closed already. I said, well, I need a male, so I'm gonna go open it, right? And soon as I open one that I might have missed, I see sassafras all inside the bloom. So something's inside, getting inside of the flower and doing whatever it does to the flower. And I see the sassafras, and not just that, but I see worms. So something is laying eggs inside the male flower before I can get to it. That's interesting, huh? Something is laying, that was very interesting, laying eggs inside the male flower. If you know what that is, please let me know, because I don't. I just thought it was interesting biology. Yeah, laying the eggs inside the male flower, because I will open and say, let me just open this flower so I can go and pollinate the female, because she's open and wants, I want her to live, right? Nope. Bee worms in there, so I fed it to the chickens. Yeah. So, you learn so much out here. This is biology. This is plant life. You know, I don't know everything, but I do know that I've had some amazing success out here. I'm watching things grow in beautiful ways, and my tomatoes are growing. Everything's growing, really. My eggplant, my tomatoes, my cucumbers are slow. They are slower than slow. When I say they slower than slow, baby, I don't know what's happening with them. But I got a lot of herbs. I get kale every day. I've got grapes galore. Now they are coming in, and so are more blackberries. So I got to get back there to the orchard and do some work. That's some real hard work, y'all, because when things start growing up, it's not as easy to get in there and do the work, because things are growing up so fast. My banana is every bit 12 feet tall. Let me just show y'all. That's it right there, right where my finger is. That's the banana. It's almost as tall as that house over there. Y'all see what I'm talking about? And that's a two-story house. Y'all see that? That's a two-story house right there. So it's almost as tall as that. The grapes are getting they're grape Concord grapes over there. This is my first year actually getting grapes, and so they are beautiful. Um, but yeah, so right now I'm just getting some air because it's very hot. I come out in the morning, I have to deal with the chickens, and I left them outside last night. Oh, did I tell y'all? For the first time, I left the chickens outside in their playground, and that's not where they need to be left, because anything could go under the fence, because they always digging. And I had a time coming out here last night trying to get them in because they was not coming off that roost, the top roost of that cage that they had as their protection. They didn't want to come down. They was looking down there like, I don't know what's down there. I'm not coming down there. That's how they was looking at the ground like, I'm not coming down there. So I had to literally, I mean, y'all, I have been navigating. I had to literally go and turn the cage over so they could get off of it. And then I had to guide them with a flashlight into the coop. It was crazy. It was crazy. I never want that to happen again because, first of all, I don't like being out there at night because I don't know what's out there, right? I can't see. I have lights back there, but not. They don't stay on long enough for me. Hey, they don't stay on long. They don't stay on long enough for me to be able to see what's happening back there. So, yeah, there's that. Left the chickens outside. I was like, well, girl, you gonna have to go out there and figure it out because you can't leave them outside because you might not have them in the morning. So they are in, and they were in, and again, I let them out to play during the day, but I need to start letting them back in earlier because I noticed also that their laying pattern has changed, and it may be because they're outside too long, and I may need to put them back into the coop a little earlier so that they can lay their eggs because they're laying the eggs outside now. They're laying them out in the ground because I guess, they just say, well, listen, we can't wait for her to let us back in, so we're going to have to lay the eggs right here. So it's been a time over here, y'all, adjusting, and I've been really going through and adding a new feature to the wellness space here on the Homestead Mini Retreat. One of the things we're doing is art therapy because art is beautiful, y'all. It is so, I have been learning that carrying around an art journal is the opportunity for you to create something beautiful, right? Every single day, wherever you go, whether it's on the bus, on the beach, on a vacation, wherever that is, a small art journal. Let me show you what that looks like. So I have started a new journal because I have a great big sketchbook and it's too big. And then I was listening to someone on YouTube talking about, art journal. And I was like, wow, now that's moving. That's beautiful. So here's what I'm doing now. This daggone fly keep flying on my drink. I can't stand them buzzards. You know what? Listen, let me drink this coffee because I'm not going to fight with them. You're my first like. Oh, thank you. Thank you today. Did you like and subscribe? Because I be talking about some things over here. Listen, since we're all humans, right? I'm a human service. I have a PhD in human services. And I am a resource person. Like, literally, I'm a connector. I'm a connector, really, by nature, connecting people to resources to have a healthier life, right? Living life well, right? So I've spent most of my life doing community work, building community organizations, and developing programs that help people, right? Humans. But today I'm building retreat space, right? And doing real estate and investing in wellness, right? In wellness, whether that's through HAP projects for seniors, which is housing authority projects, whether that's building junior ADCs, helping people to build property, build accessory dwelling units on their own property, or whatever that is. But right now we're talking about this journal, so I want you to see. I started a new one, and here's the first page. So this is an art journal. It's just one I picked up, a little journal I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and you can pick up lots of them. And you just put them in your purse, in your pocket, or whatever. You can get one small enough to put in your pocket, guys, as well. And it's called an art journal. And then what I do is I spend time when I've done my work out here in the garden, or when I want to take a break from the garden, then I will do something else. So here's my piece from yesterday that I did. And it's just learning how to do leaves, like how to learn. I'm learning different art forms, right, through using my pen. So this is the one I did yesterday. I absolutely love it, and it literally is the leaf stroke. How to develop leaves, how to build and how to draw leaves. I didn't draw the leaf symmetrics. I didn't use symmetry. I decided I didn't want the other side to have spines, right? I didn't want to show the spines on the other side. So, it created something, actually something beautiful. And you don't know. So listen, look on the back. This is something. This is the real art to me. This is the real art that came through on the other side of the page. Isn't that cool? So I love it. And so I don't know what I'll do today, but daily, this is the other side of the other page. You see? This is the actual original side, right? This is the original, but this is the back end. This is the back end of the actual art, which is also art. Which is also art. Isn't it cool? So I'm focusing on, and we will be doing some workshops just to, you just come in, drop in, find a seat in the garden, which is why we create these spaces. We create these little vistas, like there in the back, in the grapevine yard, and you just drop in and pick up a pad and sit and draw what you see, or not. Draw what you have on your mind, or not. Just free. Use some lines, use some circles, use some shading, whatever you want to do. I've always loved art, and it's so therapeutic, right? And then if you want to grow a seed, we have the ability for you to walk away with a plant. You can come in and draw, and you can come in and sow a seed, right? And have a beautiful hour, maybe in 1 hour. Maybe it's just 1 hour of free drawing. Draw what you see or sow a seed. Draw what you see or sow a seed. Drop in therapy, drop in mini retreat therapy. I don't know. Maybe y'all can tell me what it should be called. Like, I'm trying to give it a name. I know this is a mini retreat space, garden, community. We're getting ready to build up the outside garden because it's on a corner space. So we'll build up and this is building up this area right here. The path, we're going to be building that up. We want everything to be edible. So we're really trying to work the space. But yeah, that's what we're doing today, and I hope all is well with you. And do something special for yourself. The homestead's a therapeutic place. You got chickens. We have cats now. We got two felines, and they just beautiful. Greenhouse. You can volunteer, get your hands dirty, put your hands in some soil, pick something. Like I have got, like maybe you just some herbs. Have a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea. I'm growing hibiscus, and I am a hibiscus queen. You hear me? Roselle hibiscus. And baby, I can grow some roselle. And I'm telling you, I have 6 trees growing right now. In the fall, y'all, they are going to be loaded. When I say loaded, my girl's going to be loaded. They're growing. They look beautiful. And I'm excited. I am excited. You hear me? And so, yeah. So what are y'all doing? What are you doing? What's something that you like to do that other people can do safely, that's therapeutic? What is something that you do that's therapeutic, that makes creates wellness in your life? Something clean, something fun, something, you know, what in what ways do you have a garden? And if so, what are you growing in your garden? Um, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what you are growing in your garden. And let me just say this. I want to say thank you to all of you who have been coming on the lives, really engaging and helping me to build content over here. Because I come live every day. It doesn't matter. It's to have a conversation, let you all know what's happening in the retreat space, because it's a full on life. It's full on 365 degrees of life, right? And how do we do life well, right? And giving tips. And yesterday we talked about, if you didn't hop on yesterday's live, go back and check it out. We talked about untidy gardens, right? What does that really mean, right? Evaluating whether you are someone who can utilize, older things in your garden to create something beautiful. Hello, kitty girl, Stephanie, welcome. Hey, Lawson, welcome to the live. Glad to have you all here. We're just talking about wellness, art therapy, retreat therapy, all those things, and the beauty of the garden and how it can be used, how you can create space for you and your family, for you and your neighborhood, for people in your community, how you can build accessory dwelling units on your property, you know, 125 square feet of a tiny home, or maybe it's something that's attached to your house, like me, JADU. I had a room in my right here off the side of my house, connected to my house. I made a JADU out of it, put a door on it, and it became a JADU, which is a junior accessory dwelling unit. We're talking about families living together. We're talking about, you know, issues that are going on today that is forcing families to reconsider what that looks like for them. Addressing how the social issues are impacting the home economy, because we have to build strong home economies regardless, right? How do we keep more of our money? How do we do that? And how to say no, right? I wrote something yesterday. I was like, my favorite word to get ahead, to remove the overhead for me, was no. No, I don't have it because it's not in the budget. No, I'm not buying that from the super. I'm not cooking. We're not eating out because we have food at home. Cook. No, I'm not giving you the money. Where's your invoice? This to my children. No to my children. No to my spouse, who might be spending money that he's splurging on something and then want ask me for the money. No. No is my word, right? Because I had to learn something very, very important in order to get ahead. And that was, what does it cost to be me? And then I had to put my money on punishment. You hear me? A lot of times we can't get ahead because we're not looking at how we're spending our money. And that takes careful examination. You have to, to get ahead, you have got to say, wait a minute. Look at my last 6 months. If you have one, and you should, everybody should have a bank account of some kind. You should not be unbanked in this society. No one should be unbanked these days. You should have some sort of savings account, high yield, something. And if you don't, you can't have it until you begin to think about how you're spending. Or to me, in this day and time, having a job is a privilege because so much is happening with jobs, right? I do get that. I get all of that. But if you do have a job, and that's who I'm talking to, and you are making money, but you feel like you don't have enough you can't get ahead, you can't seem to get ahead. Have you ever thought about that? You say, I just can't seem to get ahead. I just can't seem to, all I do is pay bills. Or all I do is, I never have enough. Or I used to say the same thing. But at some point, I evaluated. If it's not in this here budget, If it's not an absolute I need needs assessment, you got to do one of those. If it's not an absolute need, I wasn't buying it because I had to. That's the only way I could get ahead of the curve. If I had to stay home or if I had to travel for gas or use gas, I would make sure I did in a circle that I'm not going out every 5 minutes, but that heading out to the Waffle House to grub, go get you some grub, baby. Go get you some grub. But you should be eating at home. You listen, I say that because the beauty of the farm is, baby, I go out there and grab an egg. Imagine that you raising chickens and you can make your own feed off the beans that you grow in your yard because they can eat beans. Did you know that? You don't have to go to the feed store to feed them. You can literally make their feed, right? That you grow. The grains that you grow, you can feed to your chickens. And so, and they don't eat that much if you ferment and give a quarter of a cup, depending on how many chickens you got. But imagine that going into your garden, buying, getting an egg. Waffle House is amazing and the prices are cheap. Well, listen, I met my husband and I went to the Waffle House. We go there every year for our anniversary because when I met my husband, we were young in college, and that's where he took me for breakfast. He took me there for breakfast after the party. After party. It was an after party going, but we went there for breakfast just to talk, get to know each other better before I went home, because I was just visiting that. So it is cheap, but it's still money if you don't have it. We're talking about having more money, so we're just talking randomly, really. Some days I was just talking about whatever was on my mind, really. How I had to pollinate these daggone squash this morning. But back to the egg. Being able to go outside and get an egg. Being able to go in the house and make some bread and have your own toast. If you don't have a toaster, put it in the oven. If you don't have an oven, make a fire. That's how I'm beginning to think, because I really do believe that there's something happening in the world, and that if I am not prepared, then I won't survive. And I don't think people are really thinking about, what's happening really and how they're going to make it when all stuff hits the fan. And it's sad to me. It's sad because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be running for their lives, and because of what's happening in the world, because they don't have their eyes open. The scales not off their eyes, and they still doing things the way they used to do them, and not thinking about, listen, I better become a Boy Scout. I better become a Girl Scout. I better learn how to cook outside. I better go ahead and learn how to do these things now, because if I ever have to do them, will I be able to? Will I have the knowledge? If I had been a year ago, I would not have been able to, but I have been learning. I've literally been cooking on an outdoor stove right here. You see this little thing? You see that thing right there? That's a wood stove. I purchased it so I could start learning how to cook outside. So I could learn how to burn wood. So I can learn how to start a fire. So I could boil some water, because when energy goes down, and it has gone down, my transformer is right beyond those trees right there. And that thing went out one day, and it went out recently. When that thing go out, I am here in the corner, like dead end space, private property, right back there, that transformer. When that transformer went out, everything went out on the street, on everything was pitch black. And I was like, okay, I had already set my house up. I set all of my appliances that were using utility. I had them all in one place. I had my battery so that I was able to just use my battery to plug into a utility or an appliance into if I needed. Like, I literally shifted my house. Like, that's how that's how much I think about what if, what if this happens, then what, right? Answering the if thens was really important. Hey Max, I am doing, thank you. Answering the if thens is really really important to me. So I just started doing it outside too. Do you know the makeup of your home? Do you have a pantry? Do the things that you enjoy, have you started, doing that for yourself? Like, do you know where your documents are? Like, I literally have a go bag, my car, my mobile, everything I needed if I have to go is in my car. You have to begin to think about these things, or you sit around and get caught off guard if an emergency happens. And we have had too many signs. We've had too many signs all over the world. There are floods, there are fires all over the world. There are emergency situations. Are you prepared? Like, are you? Your family? Because I went and I scanned the documents, copied the documents, have several documents. You can't be too prepared. And then you want to have them in several places because where you are may go under, but you need to have alternatives. You need to have places where you're keeping duplicates, and you want to be able to have food that's not just pantry food, but dry food, freeze dry. I bought a freeze dryer so I could freeze dry foods, fruits. This time of year, I freeze dry a lot of fruit because that's what's growing right now. So you have to think seasonal as well. Like, this is the time also that my eggs are laying, my chickens are laying, my hens are laying. So if I'm getting an overproduction of eggs, then I need to freeze dry some of those eggs. I need to put some in jars and preserve them, like the Amish do. The Amish has ways that they do things that have sustained them for many, 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 many years. And I think we spend far too much time, doing on social media, on empty things that result in nothing. And I don't have time for that. So I come here just to share these things for not just for, build the content for my channel, meaningful content for my channel, but just to let you inside to know the reality of where we are and what we're facing, and how here are some solutions, and some ways that you can begin. Yeah, water glassing. That's what it's called, Billy. Water glassing. I've never done it, but I'm going to try it because I saw it. I saw them doing. I studied them. So when you don't know something, you have to spend time studying it so that you can do it, right? So while my hens are laying, I threw away some eggs and it was like crazy. Like, because I don't eat that much. The older we get, the less we eat. Good morning, sir. Um, and so I'm not throwing away another egg. After, I'm only going to have a week's worth of eggs on my counter. The rest of them, as they get, I'm going to water glass them, or I'm going to put them in the freezer on trays, freeze them, and then put them in the freeze dryer and make powder eggs, because that's a solution too, and bag them up. Bag them in Mylar bags, serving sizes, or, Mylar. Once you build them in Mylar, they last a long, long time, years. They last years, years. Good military style, baby. You can learn. Sit down and talk to somebody who's in the military, who went to battle. They can give you secrets on survival skills, survival tactics. That's my goal right now. It's like I want to know how'd you make it, when you were out there in the swamp? What were the things that you needed in your survival bag while you were out there on the battlefield? If they had it, I want to have what they have. Because that's what we facing. That's what we gonna face. In the days to come. Unless people wake up, get the wax out your eyes or the stuff out your eyes, you're gonna miss it. And so it's very, very important for us to be strategic. Um, I shared on my channel, bathroom tools, tactics, things I'm putting in place for that. I have two portable bathrooms. One is a full tent with a toilet. One is a portable commode. I put that in my car. I think you have to cook the eggs, then freeze dry them. No, you can actually. Oh yeah, that's right. You can do them either way. Actually, you can do them either way. But if you put them raw into the freezer into the freeze dryer, you will have to bring them. You will still have to bring them. Either you will have to worry about cooking them. Um, well, yeah, you have to do it either way. Either way, the way I think about my freeze drying method, the best way would be to cook them and freeze them. But you don't have to, because remember, hospitals, they do liquid eggs, right? So you could have liquid eggs, and you could put them in a carton, after you bring them back to um, consistency with some type of water. We're just talking about living sustainably, and how to do that. It would be nice to freeze dry a bunch of food. Yeah, Billy, invest in one. It was the best investment I have ever made. And if you would like to invest, I have um, I have a code, and you can get it from me because I actually am an affiliate with the Harvest Right. I have a Harvest Right. I spent about $2,700 for it, but it was the best investment I ever made because right now I have got food stored everywhere. I ain't need no space. Look, you can put it in a closet. You can put it in your car. You can put it in another house somewhere. You can put it wherever you want to put it. Just make sure you and your folks gonna be safe. You can put it underground if you want to. Can we talk about Fortnite? What's that? I can't talk about something I don't know about because then I'll be talking outside of my head. A game. Oh no, I don't talk about them games because them games have a lot of evil attached to them, and I don't mess around with them games. They do a lot of evil things in those games, and your behavior, the things you do repetitively, becomes a mindset, and people don't even realize it that it becomes a mindset of destruction. Why would I want to steal cars? Or when I think about grand auto theft, something is, why would I want to do that? Like, why would I want to learn how to steal a car? Why would I want to learn those kinds of things? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about. Let me show you where I live. We're talking about gardens. We're talking about homesteads. We're talking about chickens. We're talking about survival. We're talking about greenhouses. We're talking about sowing seeds. We're talking about starting fires, propagating seeds. We're talking about living. We're talking about living like real life. Yeah, like grow a garden, start a therapy, build a house. When you don't have a house, where you gonna live? How to sleep out of a tent. Being a Girl Scout, being a Boy Scout, uh, building art, using therapy. What kind of things can you being therapeutic? Like real life. My grandmother used to use the can method. Then she would also put meat in crocks, but it has to be cooked. Okay, yeah. Neymar, hey, funny, hey, yeah. Yeah, talk about living. Talk about survival. Talking about going out there and getting some grapes off this vine. You want to see my grapes? Baby, being growing a grapevine where you can actually go pick. You want to see some grapes? Look, let me show you. Cause I know y'all think I be joking, but I don't be out here joking. I be out here working. Hold on, let me take y'all on the path. So this the path to the grapevine. Y'all see all these squash out here dominating my path. I gotta be careful not to step on them. Hold on. Mm, they all the way out here. You see the watermelon patch? Hold on, let me get here. These are all grapes, but these are new ones. And this is raspberry down there growing up. The raspberries are just coming in. Built something. Yes, we need to bring back home economics. That's it. That's what I'm talking about over here, building strong economies. In school, remember the wood shops? I remember the wood shops, Billy. Look at them grapes. Can you see them? Y'all see my grapes? Aren't they beautiful? I wasn't playing out here. I need food. I need to go in here and grab a grape. Let's see. Let's grab one of these ones back here. Grab a grape, day. Grab. I had to make it so that the birds couldn't come eat all the food. Mm. And my grapes are seed grapes. And the bugs can't get to them because I put a net over them. The bugs be trying to get in, but they can't. Mm. I'm saving all the seeds. I messed around. I have a whole vineyard out here. I'll get them grapes. Y'all better get them grapes. Y'all better start growing something. What I'm gonna do about these seeds? There's a lot of seeds in there. I love them. Anyway, let's take y'all back across the. Let's take you back across the way. And peppers and tomatoes. Squash. Everything. Collard green. You see the squash? Grow some food. Limes. Lemons. Y'all see? I love these. They are the absolute best. Greenhouses. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about food. Blueberries, tomatoes, herbs, medicine. I wasn't playing with them, Billy. You know why I put the net over 'em, too? Because them June bugs was coming. Woo, them June bugs will take you out. They are assassins. And they was not eating my look. Did you not see the holes in the leaves that they did get to, baby? They will take a leaf out in them and they partners. They get up there and they just do their thing all day long. And I was trying to minimize the ability of the assassins to get to the plant when I put the nets up. So I didn't even think about the bugs, but the fact that they can't get putting that net. So next year, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sow. I'm going to literally sow, cause I sow. I do all things home economics, baby. Because what these people out here not gonna do is get my money. Consumerism is overrated. Do I have it? Yes, I got Swiss chard and getting ready to plant some more. That's the vegetable of the year. It's time to plant. So today I'm planting some cucumbers. I'm sowing some seeds for cucumbers. And thank you for that reminder. The Swiss chard. I'm going to start some broccoli, start some fall crops, so they can be ready to go in the ground and start growing while it's still warm. Because you wanna do it while the ground is still warm. So late August, early September, you give them 6 weeks to grow. Because we're like 6 weeks out from literally literally 6 weeks out from September. So I need to go ahead and start the seeds so that I give them 6 weeks of nice warm weather. Growing up, they'll be a nice size. Come September, the first week of September, put them in the ground, and they would, because we have a long growing season here. He said, "I see you have marigolds. Marigold blossoms are very good in scrambled eggs. Are they? I didn't know that. I got some six. Listen, I have some marigolds that's almost 6 feet tall. It's crazy. Happy birthday in advance, Neymar. Oh, I need to go check the okra because they just start popping up. The flowers. But look at this marigold. I wanted to show you this, Billy. This is crazy. You see that marigold? It's tall as me. Like literally. Let me show you. Look at that marigold. It's tall as me. You see it? Can you see it? It is tall. It's tall. It's on some super stuff. I don't know what it's on, but let me go out here and check on. I see my potatoes are growing nicely. I just put this potato bed in. This is a bookshelf. I literally used a bookshelf, an old bookshelf that I didn't want anymore, and I made a new bed. Um, I need to start taking down some of this basil so I can make some pesto. Harvest it. Oh, it smells so good. You ever have pesto? It is so good. I love pesto. You gotta take the flowers off so it become. I want my oregano. I mean my basil to be trees. And right now, let me show you one of them. This is one. Look at it. It's literally a tree. I want it to be huge. So I'm competing. Competing. Let's see if I got any flowers over here. Oh, I got a nice okra. I'm gonna take it off. Uh-oh, these bees see this yellow dress. I better get back in my I better get back over here because they after this yellow dress I have on, y'all. I forgot I had on a yellow dress. You have a patch of ruby red Swiss chard. I'm just trying to get this okra off of here and get out of here because they trying to get me. Okay, this is my first okra. Yay! And I'm gonna wash it off and cut it up and put it in some water. Make some okra water. My very first okra. My habaneros are growing, but you know what? I gotta put on gloves. Can y'all see them back there? Can y'all see them? They ruby red, but you gotta put on gloves to handle those. You can't be playing around with them, cause you be done burnt your eyeballs. Uh-oh. So got my first okra. That's exciting. So back over in my cooling station. This is my cooling station. You have a patch of ruby red chard. What other things do you have? The tall yellow ones are the best kind to eat, are they? So what do you do with the marigolds? I've got some more beautiful big ones They not tall, but they have big marigolds, like huge marigolds. I've got zinnias. These are some of them. This was my first table bouquet. I broke one of them, or that one of them got broke in the rain. So creating a beautiful space out here. My olives are almost ready. Neymar, mine birthday is August, September 18th. Hey, happy birthday to everybody. Y'all come over here and I'm going to sing happy birthday. Because y'all know I like every day is birthday. Every day is somebody's birthday. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everyone. Okay, I better go. That's enough chit chat with Dr. Eve over here talking about what's happening, art therapy, garden therapy, homestead therapy. Y'all, get yourselves in order. Get your life in order. Praise the Lord. Bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and your family in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. And thank you for that prayer. Listen, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to start getting prepared. And all the, you gamers out there, I need y'all to pay attention. I know, right, Billy? Those bees make pollinate you. Is there hot peppers? Hot peppers have yes, they habaneros. I'm not playing around with those. I just grew them to see if I could. But baby, listen, somebody need them, come get them because habaneros are super hot. Now I might make a sauce, a vinegar, or make something and take it to market because there are some people who really like um, hot and spicy. But I think I might just might carefully make a vinegar sauce, maybe jar it up, can it up, take it to the people. I'm not cooking no habaneros. They will burn my eyeballs in the house while they cooking. If you got a safe way to cook them, if you got a safe way to cook them without having them put goggles on, I am in North Carolina, Zone 8B, subtropic. And yes, baby, yes, I'm not playing around with the habaneros. I'll grow them because I have family members who love them. You have a bunch of bell peppers? Yeah, I've got some in the greenhouse. The ones out here are slow growing, but the ones in the greenhouse, they're slow growing too. Everything is really just slow growing this year. And I think mainly because I did a lot of things from seed. Thanks. I did a lot of things from seed, so I'm just like, oh, I just want, Father, I just want to be safe. Father, I just want to grow enough. I want to be able to eat. I want to be able to feed my community. I want to be able to show other people how to grow. I want people to be safe. Um, I grew up all of my life taking care of community, and I believe that, thank you. I believe that the way to taking care of community is being the example that you expect from them. And so, how can you tell a person what to do? You need to show them what to do, right? Because the more you show them, the more they believe that they can, right? And so this was new for me. I've only been in this home for 4 years this August. I started growing in 2020 because God said so. He said, learn everything you can about seeds. He like spoke to me, and I followed his command. And now I see why it's so important. Because look at the things that are happening in the world. Look at the policies. Look at all the things that are happening. If we sit still long enough and listen to what God is telling us, He will give us orders and He will tell us what to do. You too. Please subscribe. Thank you so much. Y'all, I gotta go. I'm going to head inside for a little while, grab some good water because you want to stay hydrated. Because I have an area, complicated area that I need to work on for safety reasons. That was really going to be my topic today, so I probably will come back. But I want to show you all because one of the things that I want to make sure I'm telling gardeners about is how important it is to keep your garden space safe because you don't want to run into problems. And then if everything is going wild in the world, you want to know where things are. You want things to be safe. You want to be organized, right? That is a big deal for me. Thank you for subscribing, Andrea. So this area right here has been a trouble area right here because it's full of wood, right? And it's good wood. If you can see, I had a fence put up. I had a fence put up, and when I had the fence put up, I said, "Give me all my wood. I want you to lay my wood right here because it's not going with you. It's going with me." And so this was one area to my water system and my potting workshop area. I had to get it in order. This stuff was all over the ground. So last week I took a day and I cleaned this all up. And we'll talk a little bit about that on my next video. I might come back a little later and talk about look at it. I set the eggs down. These are the morning eggs. I need to take them in the house. Um, but I had to clean this up because it was crazy. It was crazy over here. It was unclean, unkept, thrown. Like I was working so hard in the garden, and I would take things and just throw them back here in the back. But you got to keep. This is a area. This is my a area where I can build out to the extend the retreat area. I can put tables and chairs back here, for a drop in. I can put, canopies back here. All kinds of beautiful things can happen back here. So that's one of the things that we want to work on, and I'll talk about that in the next video. But this is the other half of the problem area that I need to fix. So I fixed one half. Now I need to fix this area, or at least make it a little neater. But before I can do that, I've got to work on this area. So this is the coop, right? This is my babies. They're over here in the corner. They are well kept. They are clean. Their areas, it smells good because I wash it down every day. These are my girls. They're in the playground right now. They stay here most of the day. And I clean their coop every single day so that they have a clean place to live. What I do is I lay down because this gets really muddy. So instead, what I did was I laid down some turf. And the turf, yeah, I need to do that. So I put down this turf so that I wouldn't walk on the mud anymore because walking on that mud, you can fall in there and hurt yourself. So now when I send them out to play, I come in here and I quickly hose down any poop, and it goes in the back there because their coop is hardwired. So that's all dirt back there. So what it does is it what you call um, disintegrates into the ground or breaks down into the ground. So it's going into the ground. So what I should do back there, y'all, is throw some seeds. If I throw some seeds back there, some things will probably grow really, really well. So I'm thinking about that just to see how things go. Imagine that, y'all, them having you know, their own little food area. It doesn't get much sun back here, but I think what I'm going to do is take off, since I put this cover on, this floor down, I think I might take off the covering I had up here so that they're always getting sunlight because this does not have a roof on it. It's just a couple pieces of wood. It's some plastic. It's some plastic up there because I keep it insulated to keep them from being cold in the wintertime. I don't really want to take it off because then I'll have to put it back up for the winter time because we do get some frost here in the winter cold of the winter. They really ready to go back in. If you can see them out here, they fussing. They ready to go back in. They didn't ate now, so they ready to go back in the house. Where your sister at? Oh, there she is over there. I have to be looking for them because y'all, they be trying to escape. They be trying to escape. They sure do. They already ate, so it's too easy, too early for them to eat again. Because usually to get them back in here, I'll have to throw out a little bit more food. So I'll throw out a snack. but it's too early for a snack, so we'll do that a little later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare to paint this area, paint all of this so I can beautify this area and clean this all up before we put the trash cans back. As a matter of fact, my husband's coming in right now with the trash cans. He's coming in with the trash cans. It was trash day, so we have to clean this area up before he puts the trash cans. Can you put them right here? I'm gonna clean this area up. Thank you. Yeah, he's coming in with the trash cans right now. So meet my hubby. This is my hubby. Say hello. Um, you say what, baby? It was all the trash from here. It's cleanup time. So, oh, you know what happened? I know what happened. The tops were left open. It was probably rain. hmm So anyway, we like I said, we're gonna keep those trash cans over there and clean out this area a little bit because I had topped it off with, yay, I had topped it off with hay, you know, all this hay and stuff. I keep trying to keep this area clean. I got it pretty good. I don't care whether you have chickens or not. You should keep their area should be clean. You know, I think that I'm a stickler for that. Like, how do I keep something as messy as a chicken, but they're my pets. How do I keep them clean? How do I do this so that they don't smell, so that my don't be upset with me? How do you keep a coop that stays clean? And this is how I do it. I literally clean out their coop every single day to make sure. Oh wait, somebody that flew up there. I see you flying, girl. I see you fly up there. You in control. They need some. They need some. You have birds, but not chickens. Oh, and I have some cats. They are beautiful. But this is my lemongrass. Let me just also show you. This is my lemongrass area. So I have lemongrass. This is the lemongrass garden, and it's nice and listen. They said they need sun, but y'all, they are growing beautifully over here. This is my vining garden. I'm going to be putting in some more food over here. Not sure what just yet, but I'm thinking about it. And since this area is very cool, I'm thinking. Oh, my mama had a cockatiel. I'm thinking about some lettuce bowls. I'm thinking about putting some more hanging pots with lettuce. I think I might put some kale, stuff that need part shade. That might I'm gonna just put it over here just to see how it does because it gets parched out there in the heat. It's nice and warm over here. Do you make tea? Yes, I process all of it. So I have lemongrass from last year. I had a 6 feet, 5 6 foot plants. I took them all down. I processed the lemongrass, and I have lots of tea. I all my herbs I make tea out of it. Every single herb. Yeah, I think I should try kale over here. That's what I'm thinking. Putting some kale over here because I love coming. And kale you can grow all year. And I think if I put it over here, it'll do well in the summer months too because the parchness, you know, the heat intensity, it won't need any shade cover over here. So I think I'm going to try and start some. I have some starter plants actually. I actually don't even have to drop a seed. I actually have some starter plants in the greenhouse, so I may try that today. I may go ahead because I used to let the girls run out here, but baby, they would tear the plants up. They would tear every look. They would dig up every single one of these plants out here. They wouldn't listen. That little black bird in there, that black one right there, that one, the escape artist. That's the escape artist. The black hen right there, that baby right there, that's cold black. And cold would tear up everything. They love cold will tear. Let me tell you, cold will tear up every single one of these plants. And this is another area that needs to be tidied up because I got to get the poison ivy. But the thing about it is, they said that leave the poison ivy for the chickens because they can eat it. They said that the chickens are not allergic to Thank you, Andrea. Chickens are not allergic to poison ivy like humans are. So isn't that something that maybe I can pull it down and get put it in there for them to eat? I don't have to throw it away. I can pull it down, but it does need to be cleaned up first. The area needs to, like, this is just another one of those areas. But you have to see what needs to be done. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go because I know this live is getting ready to die because my battery is dying, and I don't want my live to be lost. So I will come back later and talk to y'all. Have the most beautiful day, and whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to living for eternity. Peace and blessings, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one. Bye for now.